Okay. Oh gosh, hopefully people see that it ended, but there's another one here. Hello? Anyone? Oh, fuck, what did I just do? Oh my gosh. Oh no. Oh, there was such a cute community, no. Okay, there are 2 people. I don't know what happened. I don't know. It just said it wasn't reconnecting. Hi, okay, you guys are here. It said it, like, wouldn't reconnect, and it was very weird, and then I was like, can y'all hear me? But the last thing I read was, like, you should write a book, and that's cool. Oh, no, and then someone said something about talking about them, meeting them, I think. I don't know. I ended it because it wasn't working, so, hi guys. What now? Ah, shoot. It says very bad connection, that's not what I want to hear. Oh, no. Okay, well, whatever. You should write a book, you really should write it. Aw, thank you. I don't know. It's like things that people don't really realize are traumatic. And it wasn't even like we were friends for that long. I mean, the night I was talking about was actually the night we met. It just, like, developed from us being like, do you watch Markiplier? I love Markiplier, and we also like 21 Pilots also. I'm gonna kill myself tonight. And I was like, okay. And then that kind of went there. So you have a favorite album? I do. I don't know. I think everything depends on what you're going through, right? Because, sometimes my favorite song is Trees, and sometimes my favorite song is, is like I Will Play with Birds. It doesn't, I don't know, it always depends, but I think the one I come back to the most, even though I listen to all 21 Pilots all together, like, I never really listened to just one album, but, hi, sorry, I don't know what happened, but, I think my favorite album would have to be Vessel, just because it has helped me a lot, and I think it's the one album that when I was going through a lot of things, like, most of the songs on there were the ones that helped me a lot. Actually, the first song that really started helping me was Polarize, which I think is strange because I didn't realize that, I was looking at a bunch of reviews for Blurry Face, just out of curiosity, and I didn't realize that wasn't, like, one of the most, well, like, it wasn't, like, a popular song from that album, but it helped me so much. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's the last comment I saw, yes. And then, like, when I clicked on it accidentally, it was, like, it said something like, do you want to report this user? And I was like, what? No. So, yeah, it's a really good CD. And what pisses me off, have I done a rant on this? Because it really bothers me, is when people say, like, oh, well, in Blurry Face, they had more stuff to say. And I'm like, well, yeah. Oh, no, they say in Vessel, sorry, my bad. They're like, well, in Blurry Face, they didn't have a lot to say, but in Vessel, they had so much to say. And I'm like, well, yeah, because he literally wrote that saying, if we never get popular, this is what we're gonna write. This, and this will be all that happens. So, of course, that's dealing and talking with a lot more than just whatever. And then Blurry Face was kind of the after effect of all that and what's happening with them now, or then. I don't know, it just bothers me so much when people are like, they didn't say as much as they did on Vessel. And it's like, well, duh. But that's not necessarily bad, because they're evolving and they write about what they're going through, and, like, just giving people the same fucking songs. I don't know, I could defend those boys so much, because it bothers me when people give, like, nonsensical hate, or just, like, wanting more of the same, which doesn't even make sense, because, like, they just do good music, so if you like good music, you'll figure it out. Yeah. What are you guys' favorite albums and things like that? Guns for Hands helped me most in Choose. Yeah. I think is one of the coolest songs, because I've listened to it both as being the person who wants to die, right? And then with that friend that I was talking about, that whole time I went on a vacation, like, a few days after that night, and I just listened to Guns for Hands continuously, thinking about him. So it's just one of those where it can relate in both ways. Choose is my go-to song for when I have anxiety attacks. Aw, that's awesome. I cried when I heard it live. I never thought I'd hear it live, and I just sobbed a lot. And then my cousin has this thing where she's like, if you're crying, you're not happy. which is weird because in my opinion, I cry a lot all the time, and it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm super sad. I just do. So I was like super happy, but like hearing it live was very emotional. And she was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "You're ruining the moment." Ah. Yeah. Nice. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. I got super into Green Day recently, and their new album is so good. It reminds me a lot of American Idiot, but it's so good. It's just, especially, it got me through a lot of political things that we're going through, certainly. I think it came out on the perfect time, unfortunately, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I could read more poems. God knows I have way too many. And they're all bad. They're all like angsty and annoying. Yeah. Our great president. Yeah. That was kind of a lot. There's that, and there's too much happening, I think, when you turn on the news. It used to be, like, shocking, too. It used to be, like, a terrorist attack, whoa. And now it's, like, another one. It's just kind of, like, sad. Oh, thank you. I don't know. I don't know. There's not necessarily, I've just written a lot about, like, I don't know. I don't actually know. But I want to start doing sort of music video type things to poems. That's what I've been wanting to do for a long time with my channel. I just haven't been able to because I've been working on, like, this project for this poem and whatnot. And so it just, also the problem with my poems is that they're kind of long, like a lot of them are. If they're short, it's like 2 lines. That's my problem. And if they're long, it's a stupid amount of long. Oh, that's awesome. I wrote one about the day after meeting Tyler. I wrote a poem kind of about it. Right? Yeah. No, it was super intense. I think, but that song works so perfectly for the end of things. I wonder why they didn't do it before. Ew. They're so sad. The ones I like are the saddest, which is annoying. There are ones that aren't even about me, but they're like these, damn. These are, people have just been like, I like this, and then you start reading it and you're like, oh, fuck. This is gross. Yeah, this is all bad. It's too emotional, that's the thing. It's too, like, sad for right now, because I wrote this one, I wrote a lot of these about dealing with, have any of you guys seen the movie the show 13 Reasons Why? Or read the book or anything? Cause, I don't know if I'm just not kidding. Cause I loved the book, and then I watched the show, and I liked the show. And there was a lot I never realized I didn't deal with. I know, but this gets, like, fucked up. I can't wait to do, like, a film for this, but there's a lot I never realized I just didn't deal with, when it came to, like, what almost happened to me was fucked up. And it was, like, suicide is a fucked up thing, and I didn't, like, I was so in it that I just didn't realize how messed up that actual time was. And then I remember I was watching, if it's, like, a trigger thing, I wouldn't watch it if I were you. I personally loved it. I liked that they showed things that a lot of shows don't. I think it was respectful for them to actually go to those places, but I can understand why people wouldn't be able to watch that. I didn't realize how much it would, like, hit me, because it had been a year from stuff that almost happened to me. Almost. It was very, very close to happening and didn't. And so the whole reason I got very sad in the first place was because I was always obsessed with a friend. Like, I always had a good friend, and not the same person, but just different people, and I would become obsessed with them, and, like, without, I wouldn't be able to breathe. I was super codependent, and it was really not good. And not codependent in, like, a cute way, like, it was very unhealthy. And when it got to this specific person, it was very unhealthy. And he, yeah, I understand. And he was kind of, he didn't die, but the circumstances of us, he was, like, taken out of my life. And I didn't know how to live without him, which is fucked up. And it wasn't at the time. I couldn't do anything. Like, I was severely depressed, and I wanted to die, and it was just so fucked and messed up, and it was really, really a bad place to be in. And it was gonna happen with someone regardless, just because, yeah, I'm the opposite. If I'm sensitive to something, I will, like, deal with it. I know. I was like, just a quick little song. Like, 55 minutes later, so suicide. So anyway, it was a really bad situation. Sorry, I'm smiling. It was a bad situation. And so when I was watching the last episode and it showed her when I was watching something about, and it showed her suicide, I freaked out. Like, I didn't realize I was going to have that reaction, but the whole show was very emotional. Hi, we're talking about suicide, cool. I'm about to read a poem, and it's, like, a really sad poem, so that's why. And I didn't think I would freak out, but it turns out there were a lot of things I never dealt with from that time in my life. Like, I just was like, I'm better, I'm good, I don't think about it anymore. And because of that, I didn't actually process what almost happened to me, because it is a big deal. Like, parents and people sweep it under the rug, and it's not something to be romanticized. I'm not romanticizing it. I'm just saying it's a fucking big deal. You thinking you should not be in this world, or taking yourself out of it. And so, this poem called A Moment of Honesty. It's a very long poem and it's super dark. So, yeah. Hopefully you guys don't hate it. Hopefully you don't. It'll be all angsty. But yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's a lot. But anyway, so this is called A Moment of Honesty, and it's right after I saw that episode, I just, like, yes, exactly. Put it on. I just, like, wrote this immediately, and I was just so disgusted with myself. And things that happened. It starts out it's so angsty. I love it, but I hate it. Okay. Not gonna laugh because it's actually really sad. I almost died for you. The words feel like venom mixed with blood and razor blades as they grind out of my throat. I almost died. And for you, a human, a boy, I almost died over a fucking boy. I contemplated suicide. I wished I was dead. I looked in the mirror and repeated what they said, and I tried to help it because I knew it was wrong. But what the fuck? At the time, it seemed logical. I had nothing. I was nothing. I was a shell with no one, and so I should die. But now, looking back, the words make me want to cry. I almost died for you. Do you know what that means? Do you fucking understand me when I say that? I sat in the car and told myself, well, this is it. He either responds and helps me, or today is the day I decide to kill myself. I wasn't even sad. No, I was excited, because in my psychotic, twisted mind, I knew that that day, unlike all the months before, wouldn't be full of the aptly titled gray, dull misery it had been. It would bring something. Action. One way or another. Either you decide to save the life that may decide to end because of you, or I end it. Simple, really. After months of living on this disgusting emotional roller coaster, where sadness and madness collided, leading me into this insanity I've become, after months of being happy for a second, and then in a deep depression so far down there was no light. After months where the small moments of laughter were just a blip in my mind that left as fast as they came, leaving me alone and dark and sad and miserable. After months, I began to think. And I thought about how I would do it. Bridge, a rope, run away and let my weak self inevitably die. Listening to the music that led to salvation, I would see a car, and the more than wishing, I would fucking pray that it would hit me and end me. Thinking about it today, only a little over a year from when it happened, I'm still in shock at how unshocked I was, at how normal it seemed. No, not normal or right. It was the right thing to do. Let you decide. Let you be the last nail in the coffin. And just as I had assumed, most likely the only reason my mind ever let you decide is because, like the person you were, after months of living in days where every second felt like an hour of torture that would never end, you saved me. You led me to the help I needed, and that doesn't take away the sickening Twilight teen romance bullshit that is the reality. I almost died for you. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's super angsty and sad. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's moment of honesty. Too honest, really. Yeah, it's a fucked up time in my life. And I wrote a fucked up poem about it. Yeah, I did. I wrote that. I'm not happy about it. I feel like this makes me seem like, suicide. That's not, it was a horrible time. I just smile when I'm nervous. But it was like a really bad time in my life. Yeah, I wrote that. Yeah, y'all want to read more depressing shit? Ooh, let's do it. Let's cry together, fam. Yeah. Yeah, no. The other thing that bothers me about that is how, like, romanticized it sounds, but it's not, like, I almost died for a friend of mine who, like, was a boy, but it's not, like, it wasn't, it sounds like, I almost died for you, but it's, like, disgusting. Like, I almost fucking died for a person, for a guy, and it's, like, gross. Thank you. You're, like, my only friends. Aww. Oh, that's not cute, aw, that's aw, but, but aw. Hi. Hi, friend. Yeah. Yeah. I should write happy things. I don't know that I do, actually. Something my friend was like, my brother, I made like for like Father's Day, I made like a little CD for my dad of like a few songs that I've written. And I was trying to find happy ones. I don't think I write happy things. They aren't. They are not worth dying over. No, they are not. And it's so fucked up. Like, because you don't think it's fucked up at all. That's like the whole disgusting realization of that is like how I was just like, I should die. It's whatever. And it's like, I can't write cute happy poems. It's pretty sad. That's the thing though, is like, is it? Because do I want to write something that's like, his roses were like noodles and they were all cute and flowery. Like, do I want to write that though? And it's not even like writing things that are sad for the sake of being sad. It's just like, that's called a moment of honesty, is just being real and just being like, hey, this sucks. Let's be real about it. Yeah. I wrote a lot about like, not fan fiction at all, but like I'd take people's situations and like TV things and write about them as opposed to going through them myself, if I don't relate to it. I don't think I write happy things either. My stuff's having... Exactly. That's the thing, is like, I felt so much better after writing that and getting it out. There's actually a poem that I'm so excited to do this video for called Blurry Face, that, back when I was reeling... Talking about how he likes to... Yeah, no, where he's like, I like to write in minor chords because it's sad and I like to be sad. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so I don't know what I was gonna say. I was drawing lyrics. My mom came in and she was like... Oh, drawing birth and stuff. Yeah, it's happy. I don't know. Oh, okay, right. So there's a poem that I wrote that I'm really excited for the video whenever I can do it. That's called, Blurry Face, and it was back when I was kind of getting over suicide and over those things, like a year ago or a few years ago, I'm not sure, because it wasn't last March, but it was the March after that, so I don't know if that's technically 2 years or a year and a half, I don't know. Anyway, and I was in therapy at the time, because if you are dealing with that, please do get help. It can help if you try and make it help. I mean, the reason that I, like, let him decide in the poem was because I wanted help. I just didn't know how to get it. So, anyway, so, yeah, I mean, that's happy. I'd be happy if that was me. Yeah, I'd be down with it. But, so so she, like, told me to write to my anxiety, kind of, like, in a poem, because I write a lot. And so I ended up writing, like, at first it was to my anxiety, like, the first line, and then I was like, why don't I write it to my blurry face, though? And I did. And it's like a 2-part poem, sort of with the speaking voice of Blurry Face, the speaking voice of me, but I really like it, and I'm really excited for the video, because I have, like, this whole idea. Oh god. Why don't you write, You know the happiest line I think ever in Twilight is, what's it called? It's just like the la das in How to Start Your Day or To Start Your Day. Whatever. What's a blurry face? Dude, that pardon. There you go, that's happiness. My yeah, no. Me and my mom watched that together. Did I tell you guys that I was watching that interview the day that like I met Tyler? I watched it and then 15 minutes later I met Tyler, and then the first thing I said to him was I was watching an interview and this lady was being really rude. And then I was just rambling. But she was, why was she on a table? That's my issue with that whole situation. Is she was on a table and there was no need for her to be on a table. Gardens, that's cute. Yeah, that's a happy one. I think my favorite, dude, he was such a dick. He was such like a condescending asshole. I feel like he thought they were like kids and he was like, oh, you're such a big guy, whatever, and trying to pretend like he was like a big deal, and it's like, you are fucking shit, you interviewer. Like, even cheese. There you go. That's what it needs to be. Honestly, just write TP Saga. Like, all of it. That's all you need right there. No tomatoes. No tomatoes on my lettuce. Oh, God. That's good. Right? But you could, like, read that in his fucking head. Because he was just, like, done with this. I don't know. My mom thinks that something happened in the beginning of that interview. Because Tyler looked fucking done at the beginning of it. They were probably douchebags then, too. Because there was no reason for her to be on a table. There was no reason for him to be so condescending about that. And to, like, not get that, I don't know, if these, like, I mean, you know how, like, back in, like, 2013, the question for, he did, though, that's funny, like, I like puns, in case I didn't realize, back in 2013, the question of me, friend, the question was like, where'd you get your band name? But now it's like, how are the Grammys, heathens, blah. So it's like, dude, you were living in 2013, what the fuck with that dumbass question? I don't know what I'm doing. Sorry. By the way, I've been watching you for a while. Oh. For a second, that got really scary to me, and then I was like, oh, right, I like YouTube, and I put videos out on YouTube. Cool, hi! I don't know if that's you in the picture, but whether it is or not, they have cute blue hair. And I like your name and the way you spell it. Have you guys ever met, I'm like looking through these poems and I just remembered, have you guys ever met like, really? I don't know your life, but yeah, it's good to know that you're not. That's really nice. The first thing I realized about being in college is that I just met like a lot of weird people, because I was in like a very Catholic small high school, so everyone I met was just either like, the weirdness of them was just being homophobic or something, and I wasn't into any of that, but like, obviously, and it was just like things, but like going to Catholic school all your life, I kind of got used to just dicks, but just dicks flying everywhere. But going into college was really weird because I met a lot of like, because my friend told me I have the issue of being nice to like everyone and just giving everyone like an opportunity and a chance, and so you meet a lot of fucking weird people that way. I like it because it gives you stories, but it's fucking weird. This one guy, so my dad is like a professor, right? And he knew my dad. Yeah, just dick straight up flying everywhere. And he knew my dad, but he was like flirting with me, and he was like older. And I also look like this, so I'm not used to any of that. That was me just being like, hello, person. Yeah. And he, it was very weird, because I'm not used to that, and he was, and then I told him, like, oh, my dad's a professor here, and he just, like, looked at me weird, he was like, I know, and I was like, okay, like, it started out real weird, and then it got weirder, because then we started texting, and I felt like I gave him my number, and whatnot, we started texting, and then one of the things he said to me was, he was like, oh, my grandfather's in the hospital, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, because he was, like, saying he had to visit them, and I'm like, I don't know, I assume that's a bad thing. He was like, everyone has to go anywhere. No, he was like, right? He was like, well, it's okay, haha, I mean, everyone has to die at some point. And I'm like, that's your grandfather? And then he was texting me while I was in, like, a room with him. But he wasn't sitting next to me, he was just texting me. And the first thing he texted me was his name. And, like, not in a way of, like, hey, this is so you know my name. It was just, like, my name. And I was like, okay, so I replied with my name. And then he was like, ha 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 ha. And I was like, this is, what? It was a lot. I wrote a poem about that guy, that's why I was saying it. Because me and my friend were, like, laughing. Because there was a lot more that happened, but I don't remember what it was anymore, because it was a while ago. But but I just remember the poem was like, how's your grandfather? And whatever, it's fucked up. But he was a weird one. Don't be happy if your parents or grandparents are gonna die, because that's not cool. Yeah. Yeah, I had my first run-in with, like, a serious person that I thought was scary, because, like, if you play music a lot outside of, like, because I always played it outside of my college just to practice and whatever, so if you play it a lot outside, like, a lot of people would, you know, be like, oh, play me something or whatever, just ignoring you, really, and there would be the occasional guy that'd be like, play me something, and I'd be like, do you like 21 Pilots? But there was this one guy who was terrifying. Like, I don't mean to say rude, because obviously, like, I professionally understand. He had issues, and I don't know what exactly they were, but he was just like, oh, are you gonna play me something? In, like, a very weird voice, and, like, standing very provocatively on a wall, and I was like, okay, and so he sat down, and I felt, like, really uncomfortable, and then he was just, oh, God, it was really creepy, and then I started, like, singing, what was it, Message Man, which is not a good first song to sing, but anyway, and, like, halfway through, he was like, oh, that was nice, and I was like, so, what are you studying, do you go to this college, because I'm in front of the fucking college, he was like, no, I was like, why are you here, okay, and he's like, art students are the weirdest, but in a good way, my cousin's an art student, it's great, no, but this guy, he ended up telling me that, like, he was on the bike, thank you, he was on a bike for 40 minutes to get here, and I was like, okay, what's happening here, and he was like, that's funny, he was like, one of my friends is gonna be on the bus, and I was like, oh, that's cool, and after, like, awkward silence, I was like, how'd you meet them? And he was like, she was on the bus, and he started laughing in, like, a very weird voice. He was like, ha ha ha, she was on the bus, she's 13. I was like, he was 19, he was my age at the time, and I was like, okay, and he was like, yeah, the lady had given her, like, yeah, seriously, the best way possible, he was like, yeah, the lady had given her food, and I was like, hey, give me food, and then we just became friends, and now I didn't really ride that bus, but now I ride that bus every day just to talk to her. I'm like, are you stalking a 13-year-old girl? And then, yeah, no, I seriously, like, called my friend after that, and I was like, can you please come here, because this is really weird. And then he, like, touched my knee and was like, you've played great, and whatever, and it was really scary. He asked, like, where I lived, and like, all this crap, but he was also, like, talking about this 13-year-old girl, and I was joking, and I was like, ha ha ha, what are you gonna do, date her? Ha ha ha, please say no. And he was like, ha ha ha, I would never, though there was a girl that did like me, and she was a little bit older. And I was like, oh, how old, 86? Like, I was joking, and he was like, no, she was 26. Can you imagine? Ha 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 ha. And I was like, okay. It's like little things that don't seem, and, like, I'm not gonna do some fucking weird ass, yeah, seriously, I'm not gonna do some weird ass, like, dumbass, like, YouTube video. It's like, I was almost kidnapped, yeah, but I just thought, for a live stream, it was interesting, it was terrifying, and after that, dude, no, I was scared he was gonna follow me, because, like, I was, like, moving away from him, and each time he would, like, get closer, and I ended up, calling my friend after that, just saying, like, I felt really unsafe, and he, like, came, because it's just, I don't know. There are certain things, like, I've dealt with, like, people just being weird, but there were certain things, oh my god, and there was this really creepy old man now, and now I'm, like, we're moving, and so we're in this whole situation, living in the city, and there was this guy who was maybe 60 or something, And me and my mom had, like, been like, alright, if someone creepy asks you for a name, tell them, like, a different name or whatever. And I was like, yes, Halsey. My name will be Ashley. I don't know. It was, like, the first thing I came up with. But this guy who had, like, really loose hanging skin, he was, like, around 50, and I was waiting in, like, a Starbucks restroom to go to the restroom, and he was in front of me, and he just, like, looked really out of it, but he looked me up and down, and then he was like, hey, what's your name? And he, like, shook my hand, and I was like, why do you want to know? And he was like, what? And I was like, and he, like, gave, like, a really loose handshake, and he, like, touched me. It was just a lot. And then I was like, my name's Ashley. And he was like, Ashley, that's pretty. And then he, like, got closer to me, and I was just like, nope. And I just, like, ran off. But, yeah, old people are weird. Aw, that's so nice. No, I think it's just because, I think it is, like, what my friend said, that I'm just, like, nice to people. Not that anyone's mean here, but it's just, I don't know, I feel like a lot of girls in particular, like, are maybe grew up feeling attractive, so they never felt like they had to talk to everyone, where when I was little, would always be like, I'll talk to any boy, just because maybe someone will find me cute. And now I'm like, know what I want, whatever, so that's not it. I can see that. I don't know how tall you are, but I can see that. But I intimidate no one and look really easy to take. It's just really creepy. Especially, like, now, living in a city that I don't know is gonna be weird. Because at least then, I was like, oh, I could take this and run away from this guy. But the thing that creeped me out the most was only 5'2", like, maybe we have, like, I don't know. I make people run away because, oh, don't say that. I make people run away because of, like, how clingy I am, unfortunately. Or just because I like keeping up conversation and not in, like, a weird way. I'm 4'8". I'm not threatening to anyone, unfortunately. And I make every guy my age feel like I'm 12, so it's fucking not great. It's a mess. Aw. Yay for y'all and y'all's poofy hairs and 5'6"ness. Tall people, whatever. It don't even matter. Yeah, I am. That's what I have been told. It's really weird. Yeah, I'm 4'8". Yep. I am very tiny. Yep. And I think it has to do with my heart condition, because I met a lot of people who, not a lot. There was this one boy, I met so many people, this one person. There was this one boy in, like, all of my high school. You're 6 feet, Jesus. Oh my god, you're taller than Tyler. There's this one guy in my high school who had, like, a severe heart condition as well, and he was also super short, so I don't know if it's medication. It also could be that I'm allergic to milk, so, which actually means that I have brittle bones, which is why I have arthritis at the age of 20, so that's fun. Yeah, life was just like, fuck you in every way, except the fun ones, so it's just great. Anyway. Oh no, I feel like they do. Oh, no, I genuinely think Josh is 5'5". Like, I believe that because he said that on interviews in a non-lying way. And also because when I looked at him, like, when I saw him, I didn't have to, like with Tyler, I had to fucking look up. Like, I was like, but with Josh, I was able to look at him and not be like this. I was just like, okay, so there. So I feel like he is probably 5'5". I don't think I ever saw the picture of you with the boys. Oh, it's on my Instagram. Not to promo that, but just it is. They're really nice. Oh, well, you have a relationship with Ryan Ross. Cool. That's what happened. My little bro, because he's 6'1" or so. Jesus. Why do you hate yourself? What? That was an escalation. Hi. Yeah. But yes, every conversation starts with that. And if they don't, I feel really bad. Like, I always have to immediately inject how old I am with boys, so I'm not just like, I look like I'm 12. So I have to be like, ha ha ha, don't I look so young? I'm 20. I'm available. Hello. Yay, Panic at the Disco. I like him. Oh. And I love that album. That album is beautiful and great. Oh god. What's happening? Why are we freaking out? And you, sir, maybe. Yay! Oh, everyone's so cute. Yeah. everyone's so much taller than me, and then all my cousins are like, well, whenever you date a person, like, well, we always talk about, like, and they're like, I have a height issue because I would never date anyone shorter than me, and I'm like, it's not physically possible. I would never date anyone shorter than me, but that's because who the fuck is less than 4'8"? Like, I'm sorry. That just would be a child, and I'm not about that life. Sorry, creepy guy that I met in college. I'm not with 13-year-olds like you were. Not cool with it. Anyway. Jeez. This has been a conversation. And it started with me just being like, I'm just gonna sing one song. So. Yeah. How are y'all? I'm always jealous when people take pictures of Tyler and Josh. Yeah, I always feel really bad about that. I've said this before, but I'm like the type of person who if someone like, yeah, I know, who, whenever anyone's like saying something towards that they want, okay, so let me explain this. I have a friend who's like one of my best friends. She's like my sister, and we like adore each other to death. And every time I wear an outfit that I like, she looks at me and her compliment would always be like, I'm so jealous. But that always makes me feel terrible because I feel like jealous implies that you feel bad and I don't want to make anyone feel bad, and I always like apologize and feel like really bad whenever anyone says that. So after meeting Tyler, and this isn't like, this really isn't to be douchey, I hope this doesn't come off that way, but after meeting Tyler, a lot of people were like, I'm so jealous of you, and I felt bad because my deflect is to like apologize for that and be like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to, like, I don't want you to be upset, but I'm not sorry that I met him, so it's just a very confusing feeling of like, I feel bad, but I shouldn't, and I don't know, but yeah, maybe I'll meet him. I feel really annoyed that I never got a picture with Jenna. That bothers me to this day so much, but whatever, one day. Dude, I would freak out if I saw a guy that looked like Tyler. Oh, gosh, such a mess. I'm a mess. Hi. I feel like this is slightly lagged, but oh well. I'm a mess and I just can't show up on time, even if it would save my life. I tried turning my jealousy into happiness, but it's hard. Oh, I don't. I just get angry. That's why knowing you're like, hopefully, I hope so. I don't know. But, same. I'm always apologizing. It's really annoying. I was about to say I'm sorry for apologizing. Yeah. That's the thing is, like, I can't watch, like, fan meeting videos. I can't, because I get insanely, like, sad. I don't know why, either. But I have to go, but I want to. Aw, well, bye. And if you don't want to, you can always stay up at. Way to just make everyone hate you. Anyway. So, yeah. So, how are y'all? I don't know. My default was to say the word dicks, but that wasn't due to anything. Hi! Oh, you're so sweet! I don't know. Did I tell you guys that one of my friends when I was in 5th grade humped chairs a lot? Like, a lot. Like, aggressively humped chairs. And, like, wanted to lose her virginity and she was in 5th grade. It's not a bad... And, like, made me have a really fucked up mind. She was the one that made me start cussing. And she was also the one that made me have, like, a super perverted mind, which I adore. No, but she would, like, moan the guys' names that she liked. Like, she wasn't dumb. She, like, knew it. It was a lot. She was a lot. She was great, but she was a lot. She was an interesting girl. But that shaped me. I feel like that was the moment I was like, this is my sense of humor. This is why I love Game Grumps. This is me. Yeah. This is real. This is me. I just like so many dick jokes that make me laugh. And anyway, let's get sad again. I don't know. When do people end these things? Because this has been going on for quite a bit. And I don't mind it, but I'm scared y'all do, so. Okay, there you go. I can stay a bit longer, but I have to work tomorrow. I do love Dan and Phil, yeah. They're awesome. They're adorable. They're so cute. I don't ship them, but I do believe they're dating, if that makes sense. Like, there's no way they're not dating. They've lived together for far too long. It's just weird. Like, it's cute when it's like... Oh, yeah. Oh, it is. Oh, God, what? Yeah. I mean, they're cute and they're adorable, but I have a whole theory built on them dating, and not even because I want them to be dating, but just because I get it. If, like, economically it made sense maybe a while ago for two YouTubers to live together, but by now you guys can live alone, and you don't, and you've never been seen dating anyone, and it's kind of suspicious, and Dan has that whole thing of, like, what is my sexuality? And it's like, I don't know. What is your sexuality, Dan? You don't have to say it, but I feel like it's Phil. So anyway, sorry, went in on there. I have a feeling. I have a strong feeling. Aw, hi, kidney melon. Oh, you, okay. It did. I feel like there's such a lag on here. I don't know if there is, but I feel like there is. It is. Oh, gosh. Yep, that's how I self-identify. I'm Phil. What is it? I'm philosexual. That's me. I like cute British people with emo hair. That's my life. That's what I want in life. Want to date it, want to get it. Hi. You might not even see that because I feel like there's a lot of lag. Oh no. Here, when you see this, I'm kind of laggy because my data is poop cute. Oh, thank you. Okay, here. So, comment right this second what number I'm putting. I just want to see. I don't know. My mom actually thought Tyler was black when she heard, damn it, see, there's a fucking lag. Okay, so, so my mom actually thought, Tyler was black when she first heard Stressed Out. It was really, really funny when she saw a picture of him. I was like, no. But then, if you listen to, like, the acoustic version of Lane Boy and you close your eyes, I can see it. That was the only song, but I could see it in that song. Probably his black paint. Yeah, that's what it is, for sure. I mean, every time I'm like, well, Tyler's black. Yes, you can see it. You can feel it. You really such. Oh, you really suck. Sorry, I'm just looking over great poetry. You really suck. Got a lot of nerve. Okay. Hannah Montana. You got nerve. Alright, so anyway, I'm gonna continue this until, let's say, 30. I don't know what time it is here. Mine is 12:30, but at 12:30 I will end this little stream. That's what I'll do, this little stream that has lasted oh so long. So, any conversations prior to that, you guys want to say anything, feel free to ask me questions, talk about stuff, suggest topics. I am good with any and all of that. Just as long. I feel like life happens in, like, plumes, if that makes any sense. It's like no one's here, and then all of a sudden everyone's, like, commenting, or everyone likes you, or everyone this, and then all of a sudden it just, like, dissipates immediately. It's very weird how life works. It's annoying, actually. You have, like, these moments of giant, just like, and then nothing. Looking. What's the one thing you want to experience in your life? That's a good question. That's a deep question, fuck. The one thing, that's what it is, right? What's one thing? Okay, first question was one thing you want to experience in your life. I want to experience, I could say being a musician and whatever, but no. I think I want to experience, and this is going to sound really weird, but like a good, healthy relationship. As weird as that sounds, because I talked about that one guy who was a dick. But there have been other people who haven't been the best, you know? So, in a lot of ways, just have a good, healthy relationship, I think, would be an amazing experience. I would love so much. I am planning on getting tattoos, but I cannot get any because I have a severe heart condition that does not allow me to get tattoos, unfortunately. It was really hard when I realized that. I cried a lot. I have a tattoo idea printed and ready that yeah. So I don't know, I really want to get a bracelet with it, but yeah, and I like Taco Bell for the only reason that I'm allergic to everything, but I can eat their chicken on the side. It's really hard to find fast food places or any place to eat, but I can eat Taco Bell. So there you go. Those are answers to these questions. Yeah. Yeah, the heart condition thing, or the tattoo thing really fucks me up a lot. It makes me very sad. It's kind of not fair, in my opinion, that, like, someone can have a dumbass tattoo about, like, their ex-boyfriend tattooed on their ass, and I can't have something that would mean something to me, but that's life, I guess. You get a bunch of good, and then you get a lot of not great, so that's life. Wow, this lag is kind of intense, and it just leaves me, like, alone for, like, 50 seconds, 50 minutes or something. Well, in this alone time, well, it sucks. Yeah, I don't know. I've tried, actually, I got, like, specific markers that were supposed to last longer, and I did try henna. Henna was a lot of effort, and I wasn't good at it enough to get the symbols I wanted, so it would just kind of have to, like, suffice with things, and Sharpies weren't the best either, because they just weren't. Sharpies were shit. Because they would leave, and because I have, like, a skin condition as well, so they wouldn't stick on for a long time. It just, at the end of the day, nothing is going to stay on through a shower and all this stuff, which is what a tattoo do, and you can change it every day. Yeah, that was a good thing about doing henna, and I did for a little bit, but it just didn't work out, because it's a lot of money for something that I wasn't going to be good at, and if I wasn't going to be good at it, and I wasn't going to be able to get the symbols that I would want, then there really wasn't much of a point. Part of me is wondering if I should just, like, restart this for a sec, so that y'all actually are, like, on time, because this is kind of, like, annoying. Maybe? Should I do that? I don't know. No one's gonna be able to say yes by now. Hey, you're back! Fuck, I need to... Yes. What's your favorite food? My favorite food... Okay. Once again, so you can see what I'm doing, and what number I am doing, what number am I putting here. Okay. Cool. So whenever that happens, and y'all can actually see that, then I will... Okay, but after that, I'm thinking that I'm just going to restart a live stream, and then once again, because there's a lot of lag. 2, okay, well, lag isn't that bad. And then do it until 12:40, if that is okay with you guys. And that's, like, alright enough. Waiting for an answer. Waiting for an answer. What? Waiting for an answer. What? Waiting for an answer. Dinner was shit. I'm crying. Sorry, I don't want attention. Oh. Oh my gosh, dude, I feel like we need to have actual conversations, but yeah. Is that okay? Can someone tell me that's okay? Okay, yeah, let's just